Listen, man. I heard you done got you a dime piece, man. One of
Oh,
them
damn, that's some
Beyonce
tall
nigga feel
motherfuckers.
types. Is that true, man? I just want to know. I mean, shit.
Damn, why
Might as
everybody
well
get
get it.
quiet?
Dang. Fine as hell. Think it's full.
All right, welcome to the Poetry Garden. Everybody make some noise. Okay, that was pretty mid. This is California. We smoke loud, so I need y'all to also be loud. So if you are ready for this kick-ass show, make some noise. All right, that is much better. We have a really amazing open mic and also a really amazing feature set of features. Make some noise if you know anybody who's featuring tonight, because it's a really dope lineup. Oh, damn. Okay, so like the three people who didn't clap, y'all gonna find out. It's gonna be a really amazing night. But first up is our open mic. So we have six. We have six lovely people on this open mic. Poets, performers, artists. You have 5 minutes to do whatever the hell you want. You can sing, you can dance, you can do poetry. We've had someone come up here with drums. We've had someone come up here with a saxophone. It is your 5 minutes to do whatever you want. After 5 minutes, our DJ, me, or Tino, or whoever back there is controlling the music, will start turning up the music ever so slowly, so that you know that it is no longer the middle of your poem. It is now the end of your poem. We have an amazing list of features. We're trying to respect everybody's time. Some people traveled from far away lands to get out here, and we want to respect everybody's time here on stage. So let's keep it to 5 minutes. Other than that, I think that's all the rules for the poets. For y'all, the audience, hello. It's good to see all your smiling faces. I love your energy. Everybody seems happy. I need you to keep that energy up. It's really hard to get on this stage. The number one fear in America is public speaking. That means people would rather die than get up on stage and speak to a room full of strangers. So even if whatever they come up here and do is jack shit, because I can't control the quality of what's going to come up here on an open mic, what we are going to do is celebrate the fuck out of bravery. Because regardless of where you are in your art career, it takes a really brave soul to get up here and speak to a room full of strangers. So if we're not going to give it up for art, we're going to give it up for bravery. Ways you can show love to poets. You can snap. Can everybody snap? You can stomp your foot. You can go, And if you're a master of all 4 elements, you can snap, you can stomp, you could go, and probably like waterbend or something all at the same time. But the point is, the more love you get to the stage, the more love the stage gives back to you. Our second rule, everybody pull out their cell phones. Put your lights in the air. Like, follow, subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that. Rich Oak Slam, Berkeley Poetry Slam, Oakland Poetry Slam. While you are at it, also follow the Ashby Art Space. Give it up for Ashby Art Space for letting us be here tonight. Gang, gang, gang. Without spaces like this, the art scene will be dead. A lot of people from this area know this space as the Expressions Gallery, which unfortunately closed over the pandemic. But the folks here at Ashby Art Space are the ones keeping spaces like this alive by buying up properties that have gone down during the pandemic and making sure that shows like this and spaces like this can still be enjoyed by all of us today. So please, please, please do whatever you can to support. One of the things you can do to support the Ashby Art Space is head down to the back, grab yourself a drink, grab your friend a drink, grab your date a drink, grab me a drink. Hey, you get 3 drinks in me, I'm gonna be up here like Beyonce. I've been drinking. But most importantly, we are going to be arting and poeting tonight. So our list reads as following. We have Gia Jones. I love it. Yes, let's give woos between every pose. I love it. Gia Jones, followed by Kathleen Stuck, followed by Bree, followed by Jay Rice, followed by TC, and ending the night off with Colin. Everybody give it up for everyone performing tonight. So when I say on deck, that means you are not coming up now, but you are coming up next. So get ready. So on deck, we have Kathleen Stuck, but coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to Gia Jones.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gia, and I'm so happy to be here with you all. I am a Bay Area spoken word artist, and I also do other writing. I'm a advocacy writer, and I'm just sharing a sweet piece with you guys tonight. Bone, my bones, the depth of kindness, the contentment of my creative space, lavender, cologne, the aroma of poetic love, perfectly made to lay out in the sun, beach towels, fluorescent lights, sun dazed. Bone, my bones. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Bone, my bones. Perfectly made to lay out in the sun, beach towels, fluorescent lights, sun dazed. Indian lotus position, beautiful. Next Nev, my ancestor, my indigenous DNA, beautiful. My bones, perplexity of beauty, the aroma of poetic love, accentuates, cultivates the forever love in my bones. Thank you.
All right, give it up one more time for Gia. Gang, 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 gang. What an amazing way to kick off our open mic. One of the things that I like about open mics over slams is that slams are competition. So as a host, I had to like remain unbiased and act like I don't give a fuck about any of the poetry that came up on stage. But that was absolutely amazing, and nobody is winning a prize here, so I can say whatever I want, and that was dope. All right, on deck, we have Bree, but coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to Kathleen Stuck.
Nothing like an outdoor poetry reading, right? Poetry in the sun. I'm going to do some of my oldies from my early 20s. This is called Memories. Memories never really leave your heart, though moments are forgotten as time slips away. Life is never as filled with light or darkness than you allow it to be. Though the feelings of joy inside you sometimes give way to sorrow at the passing of what seemed better days. What you know inside your heart is what will lead you to the coming day. For the joys and sorrows of life will often sway until that place where we create our memories. And memories bring those past times to the here and now, reviving those spirits which shape them, keeping them alive in yesterday, and continuing to shape the way we greet tomorrow. Memories. Huh? Okay, I got a matching poem to go with that. If loneliness, this is called freedom. If loneliness were a melody and sorrow a distant dream, who couldn't change the ways of memories, who couldn't make illusions everything they seem. There is a musician living within the deepest corners of our hearts, waiting with a song to set us free. The world is filled with so many do's and don'ts, So many yeses and nos. These demands made upon our lives sometimes can't seem to let us go. That is why we must learn how to listen to the music in our souls. All that freedom means is in our thoughts. We need only to look there if we are to know. If loneliness were a melody and sorrow a distant dream, who couldn't change the ways of memories? Who couldn't make illusions everything they seem? Thank you. I have one more quick one, and this should go. These go together. This poetry is from my youth, when I was your age. Okay? It's called the music of the soul. There is a sound in the air for every heart that smiles, for every eye that weeps. A music for the soul, a tune for the heart that sleeps. It waits inside us all to be released. No ache could ever be as deep as the beauty and the joy buried in our hearts, waiting only for a sound to be released. The sounds of hope, praise, peace, and love hang about us in the haze, even while we search for ourselves throughout this infinite maze. The music of existence is always there to soothe our souls, no matter what we lose of ourselves on this journey we call growing old. Just look inside your heart and grab that sound into the air. Its music will release the joy inside you if you let it, if you dare. And ask everybody to dare today. Thank you all.
Yeah. I know you didn't just play Drake. I've been moving calm, all right, give it up one more time for Kathleen. I can't believe you played this Drake song. This has one of my, what I feel is like one of the most outrageous lines in hip hop ever. There's quite a few of those, but she says, "Do you love me?" I told her only partly. I only love my bed and my mama. I'm sorry. Like, it's relatable, but that's not some shit you get on a song and sing about. And oh my gosh, Drake being the one that's not reciprocating feelings was a growth. Is it growth? Oh my gosh. But enough with Drake, because the real art is happening right here on stage. So on deck we have Jay Rice, but coming up to the stage, give maximum love for Bree.
Give it up for Gia and Kathleen. And Kathleen's voice is a beautiful voice. I'm going to do a little therapy up here right now. So thank you for allowing me. Falling in love with suicidal is like living under a museum. Suffocated by the weight of our history, only frozen once us is on display for public viewing. They say history is told by the victors. But when I try to speak, my lips taste of dust. Your ashes dance on the tip of my tongue, too afraid to jump when the music stops. I always knew that you were broken, boy. That I would never be tape enough to fix you, never glue enough to hold you, never fool enough to keep you, just shattered, rose-tinted glass, always half empty, carelessly thrown into beautiful garbage bag. In true poetic form, you once called me gentrification. Told me to move out of your depression, the only place that you called home. Said that I threw bright white paint all over your worn walls, trying to erase any proof that you were ever there. But all I wanted to be was chair at your lonely table. Let you feel the warmth of a woman's body. Let you caress my breasts like Braille. You said I was too fragile to teach you anything. Falling in love and hating suicidal is selfish poetry. like ancient antique rug all torn up from being walked all over. Like instead of ever saying the right words, you just said the wrong ones. Like you, Christopher, robbing me of security. Got a jar of honeys always stuck on your head. Like me, never cushion enough, too sunken to let you sink in. They say driving too drunk is like driving tired. And when your drive got too tired, you turned to the bottle, said no one would notice anyway. Learning suicidal is lighting candle in the wind. You bought me Bird before you died and named him Sorry. Taught him to say his name every time you said yours, so when I'd call for you, you could apologize from the grave. You weren't trying to end your life, just doing anything to feel it, not leaping to your death, just doing anything to escape it. They say art imitates life, but writing suicidal is like,
Goddamn. Give it up one more time for Bree. So here's the shitty part about hosting an open mic. You have to go up after poets who are absolutely amazing and then say some shit. I'm just gonna move on to the next poet because clearly the art is taking over. Oh, please don't tell me I left my list over there. Yes, and I think, yay! My assistant. Give it up for Tino. Over there helping out with the live stream, the DJing, having my back. Gang. Okay, on deck, we have TC. But coming up to the stage, give maximum love to Jay Rice.
Yeah. Make some noise if you're feeling good. Yeah. I am Jay Rice. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, TikTok. TikTok is dangerous. I have a bunch of videos if you like my performance and if you like my work. Who am I? I am a broke author, an unemployed teacher, and sex symbol with a bipolar disorder. Yeah. I'm up here promoting my book. And back in December, I released my first book. It's called I Was, I Am, I Will Be. I also have it in Espanol. And then I just released my second book a few weeks ago. I wanted to read a piece from my second book. Is that all right? Yeah? Cool. All right. This one's called Affirmations.
While right, when you know it's not good. If you believe it's bad, then while right.
I write because at 14, a friend heard me read love poetry about a heart in need. At the time, his heart was at a loss to breathe. In his mind was the right thought to proceed, instilling my lines and offering them off to she. He told me, no suicide to my heart in need. She's alive because your love poem brought relief. So I write.
While right, when you believe it's bad. If you know it's not good, then while right.
I write because once upon a time I was a lost body. Teenage veins ran trains of painful speech until my 12th grade English teacher taught me how to tame the beast. She gave me a pen and pad after class with a task and said, here's your chain and leash. Go release those highs and lows and in-betweens, and then you'll see all your pain put at ease. So I write.
While right, when no one even cares. If no one will read it, then while right.
I write because my right fist represents the cut wrists and hand slit of over 1,000,001 slaves forced off hardships. The privilege to write and read was stripped, so I write and read everything for everyone missed, because without them, I wouldn't exist. So I write.
While right, when no one will read it. If no one will read it, then while right.
I write because I'm from East Oakland, the Bay, bruh. where the murder rate stays at a constant pace, bruh. Someone killed nearly every other day, bruh. My birthplace is a hurt ache. Painted walls crafted in madness, though all were gathered in sadness to believe they did everything differently when in fact, nothing has changed, bruh. So I write. Well, right, when you're entitled to nothing. If you won't make money, then well, right. I write because the moment of relief I receive from completing a written piece is similar to taking a dump. Ugh. After it's been about a week, but not like the sense of relief and the belief that 9% of the globe goes to sleep with nothing to eat, no relief. When teachers, firefighters, doctors, police are less than entertainers and athletes, no relief. When more blacks and browns in jails than excelling in college, no relief. When all I see is wealth is health, while the ignorance and just fake knowledge. So I write. Well, right, when you won't make money, if you're entitled to nothing, then well, right. I write because I don't know how to write right. When what's left is right, then death strikes. Then I'm left to write about the loss of life. But if I didn't write, I had lost my life to suicide. So who am I to choose sides and cross lines of do or die? Why do I recite lines like an Albert Camus type? The meaning of life is whatever reason you have not to kill yourself. Do I write for self as a cry for help? Do I write tasty trash for massive shelves? Do I write for relief from the beast deeply held? Do I write for the kid who doesn't fit in with no one else? So I write. Well, right, when you have nothing to say. If you have nothing to say, why write?
All right, give it up one more time for Jay Rice. Gang. One of the things I always appreciate about Jay Rice, because Jay Rice has been fucking with us since we came back with Oakland Slam. What was that, December? No, before then. November. But one thing I always appreciate about it, and this is like my advice to every one of y'all who is an artist, I have never seen anybody in the audience cheer for Jay Rice harder than Jay Rice. It does not matter how loud the crowd is. Jay Rice is always going to cheer for themselves. And that's my advice to all of y'all. No matter how quiet or how loud the crowd is, you should be the loudest one advocating for yourself and how dope you are, because you are dope. And the person who should know that the most is you. So thank you so much for your energy. Thank you so much for your words and your power. Woo! All right, we're almost to the end of our open mic. We got 2 more poets left on deck. We got Colin, but coming up to the stage, give it up for TC.
I'm really not sure what I got myself into here. This is my first time ever doing a public speak, so I got this little poem book that's in my notes. It's called Pages from 21, and it's about how I felt during 2021. All right. So the first one is called Freedom. Freedom off a slave ship, just to work a wage. Shit, gotta get out the way quick. Get up on your Brady shit. Go until you fucking win. Don't drown my nigga, fucking swim. Nigga read, nigga get to greet. My self-esteem is like my niggas free. I said self-esteem like my niggas free, because they blew up Tulsa like it's Tesla. And we all act like we don't really remember. Like I can't even fucking ponder all the horrors that the mama saw. It's way more than just verbal assault. Worse than being called nigga, they lined us up and pulled the trigger. They burned the grave and lit the flame. And all my G's wondering about praising Jesus for change and not for peace and change. Abused us urgently and burnt us up on 3rd degree. This is an American emergency. So that one was Freedom. And the last one I'll leave you with is called Dismantled Generation. Dismantle generation. Even in the Constitution, Black lives at stake. Our culture, panhandled and dismantled. Every generation engulfed in the Black frustration from an unfaithful nation. The plan from the Klan was a coup, convincing you on CNN that 846 got different points of views. It's justice in the settlement. It's unsettling because they're killing niggas that look just like you. It's time we discontinue being on the menu. That was the end, but this one was about Eric Gardner and how it takes a media to convince a nation that kneeling on a man's knee for 8 minutes and 46 seconds is something that you shouldn't do, is an atrocity. So that's me. You can follow me on Royal Oak OG on Instagram, but I barely post or check anything. But thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, give it up one more time for TC. Gang, 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 gang. I always love the rhyming because I'm so terrible at rhyming, like terrible at it. I sound like Dr. Seuss. So whenever I see poets like using rhyming in a way that like really flows and sounds good, I'm like, ooh, go off, do the shit I can't do. Somebody got to do it, and it's not gonna be me. But we have come to the end of our open mic. So on deck, we have our amazing showcase. But coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to Colin. Woo! I'm joking. It's me. I am Colin. Shit. I signed up because someone requested that I do like poetry in front of the kids, which makes me nervous because none of my poetry is really like kid appropriate. But also like kids of a poet, like fuck it, let's just do this one because I have like this one memorized, I think. Lakeside Park, Juneteenth, 2021. 1. Something about the summer heat makes the liquor boil in your belly. With each bead of sweat, patience leaves your body. It's wet t-shirt weather. I mean, it's summer again and niggas are dying. There is something about the heat that makes niggas reach for it too. The sun stretches out its arms and calls a few more of us back home. All this heat, and we still stuck wearing black. You know, it took 2 hours to bury that man. The ground don't crack open easy these days. Metal bounces off the earth like it was bulletproof because even the act of dying is harder this time of year. 3. The block is always hot, so I've been thirsty. Calling out for water and only got blood, a bullet. A body soaked in its own family's tears. You crack me open, fill me with your dead, and call me the earth, a living thing. 4. When the earth is full, it sends me the bodies it can't swallow. And look how you flock to me for safety from the heat like I ain't been swallowing niggas like you for generations. You know everybody in this city knows someone with an epitaph in my depths. The whole hood crowds my banks each summer. I tempt more and more into my gullet with each passing year. Juneteenth, niggas celebrated their freedom. I had to remind them that I still hold chained bodies in my stomach. Had to swallow a few more to remind them that I am still hungry, that bullet holes make a body sink quicker. 5. Makes me physically sick being so surrounded by death and sweltering heat. I oftentimes wake up to an obituary and a headache, and the weatherman says it's only gonna get hotter, which means niggas only gonna keep shooting, only gonna keep dying. The ground will swallow as many bodies as it can carry, and the lake will claim the rest. I mean, niggas will still go chill by the water on Saturday. Last week's deaths erased by this week's tide. The weekend fills Oakland with new life. Lowriders, dirt bikes, four-wheelers cruise down Grand Avenue in a way that makes it seem like nobody just died here. Like nobody could die here. You know, bullets have no place at the cookout. Don't you smell all this food? Don't you hear all this music, all this laughter, all this joy? Don't you see that this is how we mourn? We turn funerals to celebrations. A homegoing for everybody that drops here. We just throw a couple more burgers on the grill. Take a few more sips of cognac. The DJ plays another track and we all sing, Tell Me When to Go. Tell me when to go. And instead of going dumb, we go home before a bullet can make a house out of our bones. The only home going tonight. An evening commute down the interstate. The lake left littered with trash, empty bottles, and an overwhelming sense of joy that this moment, filled with laughter and dance and family and hope for a better tomorrow, this is something not even death can take from us. Thank you. I think I got one more. I got a short one. The cops follow the buses at night on the north side because the mayor refuses to send city property into the hood unprotected. Protection is, of course, for the worthy, and this bus is a service even to the niggas. And the badge says, can't y'all see we doing you a favor? Ain't this bus your ride? We're trying to protect you from yourselves. It's like y'all niggas don't want our help, and us niggas are too busy placing flowers by the roadside to even notice. There are no words a grieving tongue can speak, so these lilies are the only thing we have to say that we miss you. Down the block, candles are relit. Liquor is poured out for the dead homies. These streets are drunk tonight. Belly warm with blood and cognac. These streets drink dark liquor. Says it tastes sweeter. Ain't got much bite to it. Goes down smooth, so I could always take another shot, and that's all niggas do around here is shoot and plant flowers, so I guess we must be some kind of gangster gardener. Green thumb on one hand, a trigger finger on the other, because all niggas do around here is kill and mourn. Keep a 9 tucked close and head on swivel through the darkness. Shed a tear for those who won't live to see the daylight, because these streets are deadly silent on a night like this. The stillness only disturbed by the sound of the bus roaring down the concrete. Its escort flashes a blue and red warning to all of the hood saying, don't you bring all that death around here. Thank you. All right, give it up one more time for that ugly dude who just did poetry. Thank you so much to TC, to Jay Rice, to Kathleen and Bree and Gia and everybody who touched this stage. Thank you so much for coming to our open mic. If you were inspired, I said TC first, right? Okay, I got you.
Hold on.
If I miss your name, please tell me. I don't want to forget anybody, but y'all were all amazing. If you feel inspired by anything you heard today, and you're like, damn, I really want to spit poetry. Where can I spit poetry? You can come back here. We're here every second Tuesday at 5 o'clock. You can come back. We also do other shows. We do the Berkeley Poetry Slam every single Wednesday around the corner at the Starry Plow. That is a competition. There are $200 in cash prizes. So if you want to make money, come out there. It's always fun. I see someone like, it's me. It's always been me. Yeah, come out. I hope to see you there. In fact, I expect to see you there. If I don't see you there because you've made all that like it's going to be me, I'm going to take that as like a personal attack. I'm going to be personally offended if I don't see you. But come out to the Berkeley Poetry Slam. If you want to do some virtual stuff, we also have virtual stuff going on. The Oakland Poetry Slam is virtual. Follow Oakland Poetry Slam on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. The Rich Oak Alchemy open mic is also on Instagram. So follow them. Also, again, follow Ashby Art Space. They are really dope. But this is not the end of the show. We're just now getting into like the meat and potatoes. Because now we have our feature set. So here's the thing. We were really short-staffed today, and I actually did not talk to most of the feature about what order they're going to go in. I have like 2 people who know what order they're going to go in. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? Because I think we have 3 people who know where they're going. 3? 1, 2. I think it's just 2. Oh, yes. Honey Gold. I would like you to go last. Just so I can set up all the sound and stuff. So that means between Tiffany and Javi, who would like to go first? I can do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, well, it looks like Javi's bio is first. It's just like a slam. You get to go first. You're just doing that to oh, someone made me a list. Thank God. Okay, so our first feature tonight is Javi Semejo. Now, I could read this bio. And I'm gonna read a little bit of it, but I also know Javi pretty well, and Javi's dope, so I'm gonna say some other shit. Okay, Javi Samejo is a Filipino American immigrant, writer, and motherfucking nurse. Give it up for all the health workers. Gang, 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 gang. In a panini, more power to you. Raised in part by an irrational fear of the ocean, they seek to traverse the collision of family, queerness, God, and loss, all while staying afloat. Now we're gonna get to their accolades because this motherfucker was on the Berkeley Poetry Slam team, not just in 2018, but 2019 as well. Gang, gang, gang. Also in 2019, in 2018 was Berkeley Slam team's IWIPS representative, and 2019 No Man's Slam representative. On a personal note, Javi is one of the most amazing writers I've ever had the pleasure of working with. I was also on the Berkeley Slam team 2019, and it wasn't just Javi, but that entire team was amazing. And like all of this shit y'all heard me spit was like really taking influence to like the writing techniques and what the folks on that team really did with their writing, especially Javi. Like like one of the most prolific writers I've had the ability to work with. So I would like y'all to give a very warm round of applause to Javi Samejo.
Steady jocking because they know I'm the truth. And I get it from my mammy Balmain. Bust down, these hoes can't stand me. Currently working on a Grammy, meanwhile, pussy pop.
Hey, how y'all doing? Dang, Colin, that was really gay. I can say that because I am gay. Hi, my name's Javi. I have a bunch of poems. I wrote all of this in like the last week because of Mother's Day. I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. A lot of trauma, a lot of time stuff, a lot of things about, immigrant mothers, things that I don't relate to whatsoever, but I figured I'd try to write about it. This is a suite, so it's just a bunch of poems over and over again. So the audience interaction, maybe not as much. So let's start that now. Can everyone just like stand up, stretch? If you can stand up, a lot of sitting, right? Yeah, amazing. Cool. Or you could stay standing, you could sit down now. I don't know your life. There is one part in the suite where I'm gonna ask like some audience participation, and you just have to say stuff, but it's okay, I'll prompt you. It won't be out of nowhere. And so this is a suite for my mom. Intimacy is a fruit. We all know that. But which fruit exactly? Can you eat it with its skin still on? Is it sweet? Does it sour? When it does, how long before you have to throw it out? Will the cold prolong the rot? And why do we have so many words for the rotting? If love is involved, we say wine. If not, mold, spoil, canker. I hold intimacy until it bruises. I strip it and it spills. I learned to ring a thing, you simply have to ask it to undo the first button, and like a grape plucked from the vine, only to release every other dead grape onto the dirt, it unravels. A string of pearls with a thread cut between them. I knew a man who told me, no, you're wrong. Intimacy is an animal. And I believed him. Sap and blood, peel and rind, seed and bone, all held in the mouth, all spat out after. I ask, if you bury it, does it grow? He pushes me into a pillow like he is sowing a seed in soil, and I thank him for answering. I hate to bring this up, but it can't have been a coincidence that the first intimate thing to happen to man was over a fruit. If Eden's apples were replaced by faggots, would Adam have been tempted or disgusted? And why would it have been both? I'm at a party and I know two things. One, this man is not gay. And two, he wants to fuck me. Like many men, he was once a boy who turned into a man who looks a little too much like his father. So when he catches a glimpse in the mirror, he can't help but to hit it. And if not a mirror, then a bottle. And if not a bottle, then another boy. Story goes, my parents fall in love. My story goes, my parents don't fall in love as much as they just happen to be around each other a lot. And maybe that's the same thing. Maybe we fall in love with everyone we are in close proximity to for long enough. Maybe love is less colorful than the flowers. Maybe love is the soil, how it takes what wilts and makes it work still. The trees of a forest will tangle the roots, and if one is dying, they will transfer nutrients to keep it alive. And this is how forests grow. And this is also how forests die. When they give and give and give until nothing is left, they learn this to survive, but who teaches them to stop? How can you tell when something is a lost cause? When do you cut off a dead root, and how do you do it before you become the root? This is how it was supposed to go. We're in the car, and I ask, Mom, could you ever see yourself being with a woman? And then you'd say, no. And then I'd respond, me either. Instead, you find the weed I kept inside the gift box I got from church last Christmas. And I know it's salt on the wound, but the box is green. And I thought it would be funny and inconspicuous to hide weed in. And I'm sure they also got high in biblical times, Mom. Why else would the angels have had to say, fear not, if the men they spoke to weren't also very, very high? You say, you're just like your father. And I know you are both wrong and onto something. Okay, this is the audience participation part. So I'm gonna split the audience into 3 parts. Okay, so let's say this portion, you're gonna say all of you are playing the role of my mom. Okay, in this moment. So imagine you're like a Christian mother who just found out that their child is queer. I mean, it might be a hard emotion to feel or relate to, but just disappointment. You know, that's what you're going for. So you're just going to say, I trusted you over and over again. It can be fast or slow. Let's try it. I trusted you. I trusted you. I trusted you. Oh, okay, that sounds better than I thought it would. That was really good. And don't worry, you won't have to say it for very long. Okay, and then this portion, you're going to say, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Again, anguish. Like you're like, if you start crying, amazing, brownie points, great. You're really get into that role, you know? And then this portion is the easiest one, arguably. All you have to do is go, why? 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 Okay, over and over again, okay? So all of you, we're gonna start out here and it's gonna be quiet, and then all of you do it at the same time, and then it'll get louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. And then when I drop, you just stop together, okay? Can we like try that a little bit? So everybody say their lines, and then as I go up, you're gonna get louder, and then when I drop, you just stop altogether, okay? Does that make sense? Any clarifying questions? Yes, no? Okay, so we'll start, go. Oh, that was really good. Oh my God. No notes. That was fierce. Okay, so I'm going to start back at the line I just did. And then when my hand comes out, you'll start. Okay. You say, you're just like your father. And I know you are both wrong and onto something. You split yourself into many mothers. Each one screaming, each one foaming at the mouth. I have so many mothers here. I'm sure one of them is not disappointed in me. The room swells with my mothers. Her bodies block the exit and her tears fill the room. I am suffocating, or I am drowning, or I'm splitting into every disappointing child. I'm gay! Mom, I'm gay. I know it's not a great time to say that, but I figured I'm already in the hole for the weed thing, so I might as well say it. And then silence. And then you say, just don't tell the church. They wouldn't understand. Does God exist for all my mothers? Or is there one God for each of them? In another world, I'm not born but hatched. A bee, which I do realize hatch from eggs like birds, which is a weird idea. I need to tell you that I have no idea what the birds and the bees talk is. I know what it's about. I know it's about fucking, but I don't know how it's about fucking. Do birds fuck? Do bees? Would a bird not just eat the bee? Would the bee not try and fail to fly away when she learns that the bird can fly faster, so she just waits to be swallowed instead? The bird, content and full of honey, feels something wrong. Maybe guilt or regret or the bee as it stings him knowing she will die, but at least it will make a ghost out of the both of them. I wish it was simpler. I want to believe in another world we would have stayed a boring, happy family. I wish us complacency. Somewhere I am just your son and I have just a job and I call just every other week. I live a boring enough life and I do so until I fall asleep at the intersection and a car hits me, or I become an alcoholic, or I spend my life savings in Vegas. All things all my fathers did, but all things I would only do once you're dead. So at least you don't have to bear it. Intimacy is an animal, he says. How it beats, how it kills for land, feral, filthy, sweat stained. The trouble with instinct is that it is not a form of communication. When he says he fucks like an animal, he means he thinks sex and conquest are synonymous. Power a need to him as much as meat and water. What makes him grow is not the soil, but the breaking of it. How many of us were born from men with taking in their blood? I'm always trying to talk to my mother, but she knows so many languages and I'm fluent in none of them. Once I sent her a text saying, I love you, and then she told my sister to call me to ask me what was wrong. And this is how she loves, I think, quietly. I want her to take up more space, and she tries, but maybe we just understand space differently. I take up space like a swollen leg, a large and unknown crash in the dark. I think of space as a thing that can be filled and of myself as the thing to fill it. My mother, she gives space like a gift. To her, space is something you can't run from or out of. You know, for the longest time, I resented my mom for not understanding me, but I literally put in no work in trying to understand her. I think I get it now, or at least I get it a little better. Her love is fruit. It is honey and front porch and quiet. Her love is what feeds a family and what survives it. When she calls to ask me how I'm doing, she always asks how my boyfriend is also doing now too. We're learning to speak to each other again. Or at least we're learning to listen. Thank you.
This the real one, baby. I'm telling you.
Goddamn. I know we were all tasked at yelling things at Javi, but anybody take a step back to like realize what Javi was saying during that? That shit was mind blowing. God damn. And I had to write with this fucker. Okay. Damn it. I left my seeing eye Tino. Tino, where's your phone? With all the stuff on it. Thank you. Give it up for my lovely assistant, Tino. I would not be here without him. All right. On deck, we have Abe Becker. Oh, wait, not on deck. Coming up to the stage right now, we have Abe Becker. Gang, gang. So here's their bio. Abe Becker's poems have been published or are forthcoming in. You ever see a word and just don't know how to pronounce it? Did they ever tell you how to pronounce it? Cimarron. Okay. Cimarron Review. The Pinch. Alien Magazine. Alien? Okay. 14 Hills. Juked, and many other anthologies and journals. That's not even half of the shit you've been published in, is it? That, like, goddamn. I was like, this feeling kind of light. Here's some big shit. He was the Grand Slam champion of Cow Slam and the Berkeley Poetry Slam. I was there when he Grand Slam champ. That shit was amazing. He currently works as a community instructor for adults with cognitive disabilities. But most importantly, this is going to be a fucking ride. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be up here. It's going to be down here. It's going to be in the middle, back down here, up here. It's going to be a fucking ride. So I need y'all to buckle up so we can be safe for all you Dora fans. I'm sorry, I got a kid. That's all I think about is Dora and shit. But give a warm welcome round of applause for Abe Becker.
Thanks so much. Those were true things. Yeah, I assume a lot of people relate to this feeling of wanting everything in your life to be a lot better as you re-enter those things, and also realizing that doesn't seem like you could do that right now. So this dance of like wanting to step back in most of my life, and that's definitely how sharing poetry has been feeling in the last couple months. But like he mentioned, the Berkeley Slam has introduced me to wonderful people like Javi and Colin and Colin's twin brother. And so it's a good opportunity, but I may not be the roller coaster that Colin last rode with his heart and mind. I don't know. Because I definitely only sort of have one poem memorized. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, everything's on the phone, but yeah, this was in the journal called The Pinch. In light of all of Javi's mommy issues, this is a dad poem. Shout out for fucked up dad feelings. Hey. Hold on. All right. This is called And I Still Don't Know How to Talk to My Dad. I took Dad out from his cardboard box after removing him from his cloth-burned body bag and blazing with his scorcher's name, Fernwood Mortuary. I placed their low-ender on the plastic dresser in front of the flat-screen TV in my friend's basement, where I'm paying rent after months of pet sitting or couch surfing or sleeping in Dad's minivan. I scooped him up again cautiously, like a well-paying client's prized floofer. I always wanted to tell you something. Tried to think of a funny sound to blurt, but just said, silly. I wanted to lighten up. This would be easier with the game on. I imagined spilling my father on the cement floor as I reached for the remote, so I just cradled him closer, staring into the flat black as he did not explain why the next pitch would be what the next pitch would be, and I didn't complain. We're missing it as he didn't channel surf between innings. My housemate's central heating revving sounded nothing like his living room ventilators beep and blast off. Hey, am I too messed up to love? He didn't respond, which is fine because I never liked how we talked about my love life, which we didn't really until I was 25 at a pizza place, greasy food suturing heartbreak when he suddenly said the word foreplay, permanently killing my appetite for the intimacy of discussing intimacy. Sorry, I haven't scattered you at M's in my Little League field in an August outside corporate sponsor park like a Giants pop fly lost in the lights like you specified in the death talk, which like the sex talk came really late in the game and was just as prematurely evacuated. Ha. I always wanted to hit you with the perfect magic punchline to knock out post-polio and fill my depression up. Now I want to shake you like an oversized rally maraca until I want to be alive. Don't worry, Dad. I'm not going to do it. I always wanted to tell you that. All right. All right. Go Warriors. That will be the sports section of my feature. Okay. No, I'm so excited about the next part of the playoffs. Oh my goodness. / I'm not gay, but always love being in a gay space and letting my wrists have more fun. I don't know. This is called Origin Story 1999, after a poem of the same title by John Sands. I'm from my mom finding me at the cafe walking distance from my first strip club, but not where I parked the night before. I'm from driving around with my mom looking for the shore of escape. I'm from the first bare breasts I touched after hers, which I couldn't see in my first lap dance paid for with ice cream scooping money, and my first big sexual shame, a poem I wrote waiting for her to find me in the city, about how maybe the barista was an attractive male, maybe the stripper asking bra off and the bouncer asking ID, and forgetting where I parked the sky blue Camry I never asked for was all a pale yellow light. I could have stopped at and turned back to a life in which I still know someone from Mill Valley and we FaceTime in quarantine. If I had stopped and asked the bouncer or barista or the Golden Gate toll taker the night before to talk about friends, about loneliness, and read their scoff as green light to get out of the red light district and go make friends with almost friends, maybe then I would have felt something like nostalgia for the rich people coyote howling from their balconies each quarantine dusk. Now maybe I would have majored in family, friends, money instead of ethnic studies, poems, depression. I'm from Lost Lust, the poem I wrote after nodding off at a police station lobby, after nodding off at a bus stop, before waiting with a bagel for my mom to pick me up the morning after my first strip club, poem tossed by the outdoors program staff the day I arrived at what mom and dad said was boarding school, but turned out to be depression camp. My desire to go back to junior year at TAM and figure out normal is less than my desire to go back to the first morning in Tennessee and hide the poem they checked and hide the poem in my ass cheeks. They check for drugs, so when I coughed out baby metaphors, they could tell I'm from finding the truth in self-loathing. In a year of goof psych in the woods couldn't tell me more than exploring my sexuality, lost at San Francisco at 17, which is still as well adjusted as I've ever become. I'm from drumming in my parents' garage with a guitarist whose pot was laced with something that made us hallucinate happy. In the thank you letter I never gave my rec swim coach for not killing myself. I'm from sincere gestures forgotten on the passenger seat and two popular boys asking me to join the rec swim team because they were a 16-year-old male body short, and me nodding my head instead of presenting a friendship contract that in retrospect could have started. I will make out with the student body president's girlfriend after joining your team. She will like me for writing a blues song on harmonica about I think she's as pretty as I feel alone. He is one of your many best friends. It will be awkward to like me. You aren't awkward. I know, never mind. The 19-year-old coach saved me from drowning, asking if I wanted a frisbee at the beach when we didn't have practice. The team was less competitive and existed because I said yes to who wouldn't normally talk to me. The boy I was scared of loved sublime and punching. Lunchtime I was drumming. I drummed in the band room. I knew Tennessee wasn't boarding school the moment I got there, when they confiscated my sticks and practice pad and poem I never asked for back. I never asked what made metaphors for Lost Lust contraband. 3 months after I got there, I stared at the clock for an hour and they finally trusted me not to run and let me go outdoors. I just didn't want to go back to my bunk. I jerked off only once that whole year when they randomly trusted me to pee alone. I was risking many push-ups. I was trying not to think of home. All right, thanks. Shout out if you didn't do high school very successfully. Shout out depression. Yes. Shout out trying to be helping people in social services and being hella depressed. Yeah. This is the most recent thing that I brought. I do enjoy the Warriors when they're good, and so these are listed trades I would make. It's called That Sounds Good, Yeah. Every text I ever sent for a bag of persimmons. I never had the last ones with my dad, and I never melted down in breakups. I have persimmons. Pet sitting Easter egg hunt, but it's Chihuahua shit the night before the humans come back, and the rain makes every attempt at bagging make the backyard worse for the toy dog quirks I never fathomed. When I made my canvassing office morning cheer cats not dogs Obama and signed up for the most awkward ride to turf with a dog lover who, whatever he thought of cats or the job, hated my guts. Anxiety for a binary exploder, crippling ambivalence for bad sex, self-loathing for that mediocre white man confidence I keep hearing about, my anxiety for not hating or loving myself when I don't, when I'm just this inflatable bodysuit, sugary monster, ghost not possible marshmallow man of imposter syndrome, my anxiety and insomnia for only nightmares of that moment in the call center. A coworker I hadn't met said he could hear me breathing, said it like I burped in his mouth. A week back in love with my ex, but every time we kiss, she belches in my ajar jaw. Every time I fart, we're in bed. My anxiety for my teeth knocked in, slouched under the sink after I didn't finally do it again, thinking I know anything for an endless supply of a little peanut butter stuck to both sides of my mouth. So when I would sound ignorant, I'm a goof. My next porn binge for going to bed. Stepping back, waiting for my morning train when the station lights dim and I whisper, don't give up on everything, for not needing to pep talk behind my mask. Feeling I'm a piece of shit all the time is more important than every update from my New York Times subscription for being more relaxed when I am. All right. It's depressing. You can golf clap that. I get. I don't feel like empowered. So it'd probably be rude if you clap too much. Anyway, this is called "The Apple Doesn't Fall Far from the Asylum." The only reason I want to relearn my slam poems is they all started with one-liners that I like to say. Anyway, the apple doesn't fall far from the asylum because they keep the asylum on the first floor. Duh. You know those apples? Actually, no duh. The second ward I ever decided to live afterwards in was kind of high up. The first was an outdoors program, but I'm sure the windows were made of reinforced self-doubt, so anyone on the verge of pounding would hold it into meds or dessert or group. On a scale of 1 to 10, I liked ranking how much I wanted to die upon waking up and going to bed of 4. On a scale of embarrassment, my dad's visit was a 10. He handed me my favorite dessert. He said he needed me to go with him to my sister's graduation, and I don't remember either of us saying anything else. That's appropriate siren, right? That was good timing. Yeah. All right, we're almost done. I hope you're enjoying these poems that I'm able to access on my telephone. All right, let's see. What was I gonna do? That might be all I was gonna do. This is I guess this will be my last poem. Probably been 15 minutes like we talked about, Colin. Anyway, this is called Abe. But yeah, I just want to express my undying love for how the Berkeley Slam has allowed me not to be as alone as I would be when I wanted to go. Very happy to engage for an hour or two right now, though. / travel all over the fucking place with really brilliant people like Hobby. Love you too. It's nice to see you. All right. This is called Abe. My dad worried about me getting bullied for it sounding Jewish just a little less than he wanted to appease my mom's mom, whose grandpa was Grandpa Abe, I think. My dad loved Lincoln, his Gettysburg Address, the freeing of the slaves. I draw no confidence as a writer or ally in the Civil War connotation. I do like the struggling to keep it together part. I mean, that's not fun. I just like that it resembles my barely here-ness. Many people have told me they're surprised if I have stage presence when I read, which sounds insulting and but I like it because I mostly write about insecurity. Maybe I'm into how out of place Abe is, but when people call out, hey, I like to tell myself they're calling me a white lie. Like I feel listening to all hip hop, but Beastie Boys kind of basic but cool, kind of dishonest Abe. I look both ways before crossing and running back wherever I came from. Running at ether is fun. I blabber random like that if you say Abe, like dumb. One housemate liked to wave and go, hey, babe, 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 babe. Instead of hello, Abe Vigoda is who I like to say. It's like if you don't hear my name right. He played a traitor in The Godfather who stands out in the end for how well he blended in. Abe. A lover moans. And I'm afraid we will regret this. The ex I most miss, and I only ever use pet names. First time she didn't, Abe meant goodbye. Call me Abraham. You're my sophomore English teacher who liked me and was often disappointed. Occasionally she wasn't. Then I was just Abe again, who pause. I'm gonna do one more poem. Okay. Then I was just Abe again. Yeah, it works better if it's a memorized poem if you're gonna pause. You're my sophomore English teacher who liked me and was often disappointed. Occasionally she wasn't. Then I was just Abe again, who even then wished it was just gesticulation or sophomoric jiggling. So silly to jiggle my moniker would be to erase any inclination towards self-doubt. I honestly just wish it was something more honest, like where that guy knows obsessing over his problems amplifies his problems, but they're getting real amplified. So don't judge. Or cats. Or I texted my ex for days after her dog passed with no response. I don't blame our mutual friend for choosing her and calling my words. I'm committed to not doing that again. Laughable. Now everyone should just call me hypocrite or basic ass cishet white male asshole or Gabe. I've been called Gabe a lot, and Ben. Woman I've been dating hasn't said Abe yet. It's my second favorite thing about her. My favorite is that so far I haven't said anything that's made her visibly repulsed. I think she would have liked my dad, and I think she would like my mom's cats. I hope she says my name and laughs like I'm the best joke. All right. Do I have time for one more? What do you think? Yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah, we're going through everything I can access. Okay. Yeah. So I've been working with people with cognitive disabilities, and it's a good thing. That's all I'm gonna say. I signed an NDA, so I haven't written any poems about them. Anyway, this is called Dear Owner, and it is actually my last poem. All right. Your cat's sex is surprisingly gentle. None of their normal passion, and I'm so sorry about your son hearing yeah, I don't know. Yeah, when the trigger warning thing happened in slam, I was like, but they came to a poetry slam. Yeah, like that's exactly how I felt. Yeah, but just so we're good. Okay. Dear owner, your cat's sex is surprisingly gentle. I love your sarcasm voice, Javi. I've always admired the dexterity of like, now I'm sarcastic and now I'm crying, you know. Anyway, dear owner, your cat's sex is surprisingly gentle. None of their normal passion. I assumed you wouldn't want that picture, and I didn't want to take it, so I didn't. But I just thought you should know your cat's sex makes me uncomfortable, like I know you would want it to. And the other night, I stopped masturbating when they came in the room and approached your sofa bed. I decided not to experience deep pleasure, even though I've been incredibly depressed throughout your trip. I knew you wouldn't want them to see that, and you'll be pleased to know I didn't want to see them seeing that either. And I didn't bring Derry or friends into your space, and I only cried in the shower, so they still just associate tears with your face. Assuming you cry, sorry. I hope the photos made you as happy as your replies suggested. I hope this is only their second life and they really like your apartment and want to live here forever, and the trip was better than the brochure, or however you imagine where you're going next. I like to get high and imagine your cats are my dead father. I want to honor you today. I blabber grief at them and they try and kill each other or do anything other than gentle intercourse. Then I look away like I do from human PDAs on BART, or this guy I know hates me on his bike at the stoplight the other day, when I realized your texts have felt like his smile, which is what I was looking away from. So I decided to leave you a note. How do you like it so far? Maybe you have questions like, why am I sexualizing your monsters? Owner, they sexualize themselves. I looked away, but okay, fair point. I'm sorry. This is just to say the sofa bed is still broken. I'm still sorry. I thought it folds like a futon, but it's still comfortable enough to stare at the ceiling. This is just to say I've eaten the prunes that were in the pantry, in which you were probably saving for constipation. Forgive me. They were disgusting, so sweet, and I was so disconnected from our species as your felines started fucking dispassionately like married humans who regret I do. I will buy more prunes. You will have more overall prunes. Look, I have no clue why your cat's sex had me crave dry pitted fruit, but I do have to confess I lied about why the blow dryer was downstairs. I didn't know my boots had holes until I was memorizing my poem It's Raining Cats and Cats Out There at Lake Merritt in the first real rain in the Bay Area in forever. And if I could go back, I would let my boots mold and leave your blow dryer upstairs where I will never go again. And in the future, I intend to evolve into a well-adjusted adult who you trust. But this is just to say your cats are really comfortable with me. The big one made eye contact which seemed to amplify my anxiety and cause me to crave prunes, unlike most of the time when they cause me to relax. They seem to find my anxiety soothing, and sometimes I let it go. I hope they make you feel that at home when you get back. Sheets are in the dryer. Sincerely, your pet sitter. Thanks. Thank you.
On God, I ain't playing about my Lord and Savior. I'm on my job. If you ain't a Christian, I'm gonna stab you in the face. If it ain't about Jesus, I'm
all right. Give it up one more time for Abe Becker. Gang, 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 gang. Shit. I don't know why I come up here without Tino's phone.
Palestine, free take K.
Tino!
It's the trap game. Abraham Lincoln, 4 score and 16 bars.
I feel like
ago.
Tino's like doing the whole
R.I.P. Betty
Vanna
White. She
White
ain't dead
thing.
before when she died, 'cause I know it's coming up.
Like I need you to
Hey,
press the letters,
bitch.
Tino.
How you never fucked
Okay.
on a real nigga? Yeah, I'm getting paid, still late on my bills.
Why'd
nigga.
you
Don't
play my
check
jam,
crib, I
Tino?
just let it charge the iPhone. Ask me if these
I
diamonds
did
now,
tell you
bitch,
to.
these some rhinestones.
All right, our next feature is Kelsey Daniels. Kelsey Daniels is an artist, organizer, baddie, scholar from Southeast San Diego that knows that telling her story and curating space for others to do the same is freedom work. I'm sorry, am I reading your bio or a fucking poem? God damn. I'm sorry. If y'all peep in the back, there's a table back there with like all of Kelsey's merch, and it made me feel like lacking as an artist because I have never showed up to a feature set with this like level of professional shit. And then I'm reading the Bible. I'm like, I'm reading the bio that feels like a goddamn Bible. And I'm like, oh, I need to step my game up. Okay, to continue on this bio, as a fat, black, queer, disabled femme, she honors her ancestors and descendants by revoking consent from the failed experiment of white supremacy and dreaming up worlds that are affirming and lit. We love lit. We love lit. She is an acclaimed speaker, and her work has been featured at Creative Mornings, March for Black Women San Diego, and Women's March San Diego. Kelsey is currently ranked as the number 7 queer poet at the Stonewall International Poetry Slam. Gang, gang, gang. The number 8 poet at the Black Arts Matter Slam. And the number 13 woman poet in the world at the Women of the World Poetry Slam. In other words, there are less than 10 people on the face of this earth who you can quantify through competitions and the bias of 5 random judges in the audience as being better than Kelsey. And that's, I don't know, there's more than 10 motherfuckers in this room. So there are not a lot of people who will bring you the amount of work and quality that Kelsey does. Example, I first met Kelsey, I think, virtual shows again, like Berkeley Slam and Oakland Slam. I don't know if I beat you yet. I feel like you always win. Even if I've scored higher than you, I always feel like every time Kelsey gets up on stage, I feel like they kick my ass. Like every fucking time. The pressure is on me. But I want y'all to give a warm round of applause to Kelsey Daniels.
That was so much. Okay. All right. So thank y'all for that. So yeah, my name is Kelsey. I'm from San Diego, and I'm just excited to be up here. The sun is sunning. Y'all are beautiful. This is dope. So I got back into doing poetry during the pandemic because I needed something other than the 4 walls, to like talk back to me. And so I did a lot of writing around like dreaming and really like elongated sticky notes reminded me that I like should probably be here. So this one is in November, like Summer Walker's album came out, right? And everybody was talking about the Sierra Prayer. I didn't listen to the album, but I did listen to the Sierra Prayer. And I was like, what if I write this, but not like manifesting a man, but like manifesting the things I need to like remember about myself. So it's a dream formation. I am of God and good. I know that I am deserving of the love that I am, and I proclaim that there is nothing that removes me from my worth, purpose, and magic. I trust that God, my ancestors, and them are conspiring on behalf of my greatest good, and I consent to the surrender and faith necessary for my dreams to be released, nurtured, and actualized. I come home to myself through wonder and imagination, offering abundant grace because shame is not a sustainable means for growth. I move, knowing that everything about my existence is a Sankofa miracle and an opportunity for dynamic transformation. I allow myself to be afraid while understanding I do not have to do fear. I challenge myself to learn while I am doing. I affirm that I am perfect and whole. Understand that the assignment is to choose to stand in my purpose regardless of the slope of rooms. I root myself in knowing that outside validation is complementary but does not shift my worth. I devote my energy to the what and why, knowing the how and when is none of my business. The possibility is beyond what I could ever strategize for. And I bless the portal that is my sacred dream space in the gift of divine imagination. So, yeah, and like it's been rough. So, before I get into like more healing shit, can I do some petty shit? Okay, so this one, because white people on Facebook have me fucked up. So picture this. It's November 2020, shortly after JoJo and them won, yay, democracy. And this white man tags me in a Facebook post thanking me and other black women for being local Stacey Abrams. And Karen, that's her real name, comments, I want black women to run this country, then I'll be at peace. So who's finna tell her? Because clearly I don't give off unfriendly black hottie, and these white people still think I'm safe and not a grown city woman whose areolas are not Felice. I don't know nothing about birthing no babies or nursing a nation, Pamela. This pussy don't pop for platitudes. I know how quickly these compliments turn contract. Black women are not your anti-racism manual or your gateway drug to empathy. Unhand me, Caroline. I am Kelsey O. Daniels. The O stands for Olivia, but today it's oh bitch, let me tell you. I have learned to say my name with oomph. Like it leaving my lips may be the last time it is drenched in knowing, and a love that holds all of me valuable, no proof of utility needed. Riddle me this, Rebecca. Why does your intersectional feminism look like a one-way street? You have learned the language and left the lesson. You want black women to run this country so you can punch up as if America has been trying to drag us down for centuries. Oh, Susan. I know an op when I see one. And an uninspired one at that. If all you and your sisters had to offer the world and your failure was a pink pussy hat parade, what makes you think you deserve any peace? You're not even putting in the effort to drag me into servitude, and it's giving delusional, sweetie. And even in this, I know that historically, the most unsafe white women are those who might be laughing right now, othering themselves out of their privilege and their role in my oppression, those who will pledge allegiance to my leadership as long as it doesn't make them like uncomfortable, because when push comes to shove, all they would have to offer my movement is symbolic gestures and tears. I do not exist to be a Captain Save a White Lady. No Karen's backdoor work orders against me shall prosper. Baby, if I did run this country, I'd be too busy reclaiming my time to give a fuck about a Karen. So, you know what I'm saying? And the funniest thing is, so I did this poem at BAM and I posted an excerpt of it on my Instagram, and the white man who tagged me liked the video. And I was like, do you not remember November? And, but he still hasn't paid me, so I'm going to keep doing it. All right, back to like healing, growing shit. I wrote a lot about my grandmothers, and or they wrote a lot through me. And so this is a piece called Grandmothers Whisper to Me in Middle of Panic Attack. Do you know that you are loved? That this love we got for you can stretch you without hell and shame, can feel God in full moon and sand. You do not have to keep your pain pressed down and shake and run over. Open your throat. Do not hold back blessing. You can't game God, and you don't choose destiny, not because you're a wretch and unlovable, but you don't even know all the possible that could ever possible. Did you ever see yourself here? The how was never any of your business, but get clear on your why. Lean, drift, ask, please. The assignment, if you choose to accept, love anyway. In hopeless places. Dream hard. Prayer circle when all you want to do is sleep yourself into numb. We be fenced all around you every day. This unconditioned means there ain't nothing that separates you from God and good. The call is always coming from inside the house, and you are the home and the heaven. The baby you thought you were healing is cheering you on. You've been carrying around her picture in your phone, telling yourself you were sending back the believe you deserve, then never once considered that she is Sankofaing you back, telling you that you were the secret wish her heart made to be big on purpose. You've been carrying around her bright side, wonder. Every optimism is offering. She needed to see the world from full, and you gave her that. Put her in places to get a hug back. She is here. Hold your hand when you need comfort, because tomorrow you're going to be rooting for all the shit you do today. Being so grateful for the labor you give up freely, the kind that doesn't feel like anything but air, and you know the difference between gas chamber and ocean breeze. You don't always think that your words matter, but you're a world builder. Fragmenting maps out of Instagram stories and micro notes and conversations, your dreams return because it is a code only you can crack. The hate is going to keep coming. Discern, listen. We are always here. You may have to wait, but we'll come. It is the remember that has kept you here. Hold all of it and keep going. You are getting to free. We see it so bright and full, and we don't miss. Remember that storms come, but we do not miss. When you leave, it will be time. But while you are here, give where you get. Gather, book the departing flight, and let us order the other steps. Be smart, but hold space for the miracles you are expecting. Start by acknowledging all the ones that have already happened. Give the babies the sacred of you. Look for mommies that look out for you and own. Do not let the deluded rob you of any room. Be smart. Oh, hold on. Do not let the deluded rob you of any room. Ooh, okay. We're gonna make sure we don't fuck up what my grandma said. Hold on. I'm gonna say, might as well. We're not gonna. Give the babies a sacred of you. Look for mothers that look out for you and own. Do not be afraid to see love in the spaces it ain't supposed to be. Do not let the deluded rob you of any room. Use your whole toolkit, but keep your heart, Kels. What do you root in? Where can love find a forwarding address? Be still every now and then. We do not give you yourself to torture you. This gift is not transaction. You know the other side well, so water here, 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 and you are worthy of here. Home here, loved here, and welcomed here. Do you know the crown that you gave yourself when you picked up our call and named yourself, and she's here? You wrote the vision, baby. You already wrote it. Return. Yeah. And so, yeah, when people depression gang, right? Mental illness squad up. There's been I was talking with someone the other day and talking about like the trauma to art pipeline, and like it really it gives a little flavor. Um, I wrote this piece. Where are we finding it? Um, the last Friday, like before the world like shut down, right? Um, like I went to my job and I was like, I don't think I'm be coming back next week. And like it was the last time I hugged somebody without feeling like terrified. Um, and so I had a kickback with my friends and came home and wrote this while on an edible. Um, before this world ends, before this world ends, I return to myself. Damned if I leave without coming back, allowing myself my own having. I will hold myself and call it worth. I get to be bold and unpunished. I'm no longer a shutting down preemptively. I be, not think out of, just be. A knowing of what is required and unequivocal, yes, still, and of course, with no hesitation or held breath, sarcasm or twisted word. I get to make Me Too into a sweet song of reciprocity. We will not bare minimum survive on the eve of over. I will wholly live in myself. A promise to the forever I enter into. Gladdest morning, evening, or any time before this life is over, I fly home to me. Say I was always my best option. With so much joy I find on this side. Let's see what. I'm gonna do. This body exists in the future. This body exists in full and tired and loved and neglected and hope and breathing and planning and failing and waking up. This body is surrendering to sleep, to hoping, to crying and praying with question marks, to choosing to stay. This body has to-do lists with trust issues. It's fighting the trinity of sad. Escapes in TV shows she's watched a million times, dodges messages asking how she's doing until she finds the right words to say nothing. This body hates election season, loves breeze, been giving itself to sand and wave, goes numb, been producing anyhow, has not been extinguished or engulfed, is capable of continuing. This body exists in the future. Thank you. So I have, like Colin said, I have a little merch tape on the back. Came from San Diego.
And I wrote this collection, or I put together this collection. It was just a bunch of writings that I like during the 2020s, this decade, and thinking about like the fact that there are constant themes. Like I've been thinking a lot about like dreaming and how like my dreams are really like little scribble notes that I write in my notes app and in my journals. And I realized like, oh shit, I've been marinating on this shit for a while, right? And so I have a project that I started called the Black Dream Experiment, and thinking about like how does it look like to honor that our dream space is about liberation and wellness, and like that we don't have to just survive. And so yeah, I also write a lot to my inner child. So I'm gonna do one last piece from here and then close it out with Jiggly. If I can get to the page. Mm-mm-mm. Actually, no, we're gonna just do that one. So when I was in 5th grade, I was standing outside my classroom and this boy that I had the biggest crush on decided to come and talk to me loudly. He decided this would be the perfect time to point out my big ass belly. How it was much larger than my breasts, except for he doesn't wear breasts because we was only in 5th grade, but his comedic timing was well beyond his years. The whole class erupted. They laughed and he laughed. And if I were white, I probably would have turned cherry red. Instead, I tried to turn wall. I inched ridiculously close to it, thinking if I perpetrated hard enough, eventually the structure would have to accept me as one of its own, and I would be relieved of the burden of being seen. I'd be free of the reality of having to be here. This is the start of my obsession with slipping into oblivion. Nowadays, oh, you're gonna know that a bitch is here and worth the seeing. The skin do not come with an instruction manual on how to love its contents, and I'm doing all right. I'm no longer an accomplice from those unable to see my light. I'm getting used to life in this here reality, and won't you celebrate with me? This luscious ass stomach that mimics jello whenever I let out a raucous chuckle. My giggle has a way of giving away my presence, much like my present form. I'm not really hard to miss, and ain't none of me hard to love. Choosing myself isn't always easy. You can't self-esteem out of fat phobia and into making doctors believe you're actually in pain or having employers honor your access needs. This world has chosen a contentious relationship with my body, but I revoke consent. Message. It is illegal to shout fire in a crowded room when there is none. However, I have a secret. Y'all want to hear it? I said I have a secret. Y'all want to hear it? It is not unlawful to be fire if you just are. So I just blaze, just be, exist unapologetically, and allow the present of my presence to be fully received because I don't got no muffin top. I'm the whole damn cake, and how God it is to see abundance where others call void. To call this body good, even if it's unobservable to others. So I call myself all. I name myself everything. I celebrate baby Kelsey and her big ass belly for the lasting, and how sweet it is to be loved by me. My best self is loud. Laughter spilling out like secrets are refused to be hidden any longer. My best self is belly puffed, in love with this jiggly ass existence. My best self is living and loving these moments right now, offering grace and denying shame to negative self-talk demons that still try to convince you that I don't deserve to be here. I'm realizing that I was never the decorative wallflower. I was always the mural. I am already here, and I am so grateful to finally see me. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, so like I said, I have merch in the back, and come talk to me and all that good shit. Thanks.
All right, give it up one more time for Kelsey. Woo! Thank you so much. So I have only seen Kelsey perform like online, and in person. Always so much better to see people in person. Like some of those poems I've heard before, and they just blew my mind even more because it's in person. And I'm glad everybody is here. I don't know how to open your phone, Tino. Wow, everybody heard that? Scam this man. Excuse me. Okay, come unlock this, John. Come unlock this shit. So how many?
Boom. Take his phone. Take his phone. Take his phone. Go.
I see what happens. I'm just gonna say that it had everything to do with how Tino explained it to me, and nothing with me being a complete dumbass. All right, so we have two more people left on our list tonight. So coming up to the stage now, we have Tiffany Banks. Gang, 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 gang. Tiffany Banks, aka the Poetic Pharaoh, is a mother, poet, writer, event curator, mistress of ceremonies, motivational speaker, and healing arts worker from Vallejo, California. Gang, gang, gang. Are you still in Vallejo? So you crossed the bridge to get here? First of all, pay the motherfucking toll to get here. Give it up for that. That's commitment right there. If I lived in Vallejo, I wouldn't be coming out here for shit. But also, I am lazy, and I'm happy to see people who are so committed to the culture to come out to the Bay Area, come out to Oakland, Berkeley from Vallejo. But let's get into all the other shit she does, because she organizes and hosts Bay Area spoken word and artistic showcase events such as Speak on It, the Art Temple, along with facilitating literary and healing workshops. Banks coaches grade school students in citywide spoken word competitions. Y'all ever seen youth do poetry slams? That shit is wild. It is absolutely amazing. And Tiffany is one of the people responsible for shit like that being able to happen. You ever get an adults in the room and try to get them to write a poem? Try doing that with kids. In the age of TikTok. I am also an educator. I know how hard it is to get these kids to do shit right now. So thank you so much for being an educator. Whew. Her first book of poetry and short stories, Asela, was published October of 2018. Banks, you can support and follow Tiffany Banks by visiting her website. Ooh, a website. TiffanyBanksWork.com and staying up to date with her promotions on Instagram at the _poetic _Pharaoh. Give a warm round of applause to Tiffany Banks.
And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the pay cut. Bahamas, I be looking at you from the face down. One Mac 11, even room with the bass down. Scheming, now let me tell you about my life. Painkillers only put me in the twilight. But pretty pussy and Benjamin is the highlight. I tell my mama I love her, but this what I like. Lord knows, 20 of them in my Chevy. Tell them all to come and get me, reaping everything I sow. So my karma come in heaven, no preliminary hearings on my record. I'm a motherfucking gangster in silence for the record. Tell the world.
To all the ones who've put up no Black women allowed signs, we thank you for setting the stage perfectly. For our reoccurring debut, we thank you for letting us know that we have your attention. Thank you for highlighting that much of our opposition stems from 18th century American constructs trying to make us out to be one of the most disadvantageous individuals within society. We thank you for letting us know that we are not soft-spoken, and for a reason, and that our domain requires for us to operate in such boldness. Thank you for reminding us that we are still in battle, and that enemies try to close in on us from all sides. We are trucking out of this smoke, this drug, this lack, this abuse, this misinformed couple of 100 years. We are cleaning up the mess. Many of us have had to listen to our sons, to the judge sentence our sons to 50 years of solitude. While a sister buries her 21-year-old, we look around, peering through the dust to see that what we are holding is the shorter end of the stick. So we roll up sleeves to make changes for a better generation. All the while they hate us. Our own black men hating us. And we accept it for what it is, raising our families alone, heavy loaded uphill for degrees, 2 jobs, night school, applications for every resource available just so our daughters can simply enjoy nature. But time has proven that despite her degrees, despite her perseverance, despite her excellence, that they may hate her even more still. And that is why you see the fire in her eyes. And it frightens you. But fear not. Fear not. She's just thinking. She's just planning for escape from such a construct so she can give back to this earth a deposit of that fire torching the matrilineal power within every woman, so that she can see that she is both the high priestess and the general. Her counterpart should be very, very afraid of her chaotic nature. But fear not, beloved. Fear not. She is the portal. She is the signage on your path. She is the clairsentience within your solar plexus. She is your white owl, the wolf in your pack. She is both the new and the full moon. She is spirit manifested into this physical truth. So no, you will no longer lie to her. You will not separate yourself from her. You will not divide her from her dark skin, her light skin, her brown skin, and all other races of sisters. You will no longer ban her. Because now you know her. So to all the ones who've put up no black women allowed signs, we thank you. How y'all doing? Are we good? Is this Saturday? Are we at a poetry event? Do you feel good about yourselves? Okay. I'm big on confidence, so I wanted to thank especially all the open micers. It took me a long time to get the courage to even put my name on the list, and so I wanted to congratulate everybody who got up here and did their thing, yo. Feel yourself. Shameless plug, is that okay? So this is my first piece or first book of poetry. It's titled Selah. It's a combination of older works, which took me a lot of talking to myself in the mirror to even put this out. And it's older, 2018. It's kind of old, kind of stale, but I'm proud of it. And that's still hard for me to do, is like go back to my old work and still talk about what I could do and what I did do. So if you want to be my friend and maybe support the art, see me later about this book. But I have an older piece. I hope it's not too stale. Sometimes what I do for my mental health is I go back and I read some of my old work. And that's what I've done over time to be able to recognize myself. We don't, for whatever reason, we don't see ourselves. I struggle with this every day. So I try to find little methods to remind myself, like Kelsey said, like I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to recite an older piece for you guys. Is that cool? I have not rememorized this, so I hope that it comes out as I put it together. Let's figure this out. When our daughter falls in love one day and grows curious about us, wanting our story, I tell her that we, both you and I, extinguish that thing between us as if it were a wildfire that could burn our identities down, that I used to have glimpses of you in and out of reality, but only in fantasy was where we were happy. I was barefoot in nakedness, dancing around, making shapes and saying, all tracing and leading up to you, a you that eventually soon I couldn't see anymore. That I remembered a black reflection in your eyes that didn't even give me back, and how at first, like a tide, that thing came. I made you my lifetime, jumping ahead of God, and I fell into a realm of my own figless, fruitless fig trees and indigo passions, where from that place I loved you. I loved you like hello, like a good morning, like fantasy, like memories of times that used to hurt, but now I could look back at the past and laugh. I loved you like imagination, like my seeds, like my grandmother, like 4 generations deep, like another language, like music, like honesty, like wisdom, like purpose, like promise, like poetry, like prayer. I loved you like earnest prayer, like answer prayer, like joy inside of hurt, like we are first spirit beings, like I am vessel, like I am woman, like I am man with womb, like I've been created to birth more than babies. I loved you like the inspiration in which we come from, like humanity, like divine order. I loved you like that. That's deep, huh? All in my ideas, however, before I ever truly knew you. A premature birth, lungs underdeveloped, incubated inside of a hopeful little girl's mind, raised by fairy tale, the prince saving her with a kiss. Otherwise, she's lost. There wasn't enough room and desire for patience. My imagination shaped by society's trench, by religious demands, by a ratio analysis of others who were hasty, which all boxed me into you. And you, a young, unknowing, you led by the impulses that your manhood had yet learned how to control, or better yet, understand. We twirled around in an unknown matter and danced to a rhythmless beat, loving, having, creating without knowing how. We felt dizzy, fell out of place, out of context, never knowing our young minds dull, never grabbing, never gripping onto that cord, that friendship, that awareness, that self, knowing that one could do without the other, caged to one another, scratching for escape. And so we did escape from something we didn't give enough patience to understand in the first place. High on image, on ego, on self. We were flame for our drug. It ignited fantasies of us, grew trapped in that hot reality. We extinguished that thing between us. Heaven and hell went to war because of us. An entity so big that earth didn't know what to do with it. That's that love stuff. I know I have 15 minutes, so let me count that. Okay. I got maybe 1.5 more pieces, so I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna do the half. I wanted to give a shout out to Rich Oak Alchemy Events. Like, this is like my second time performing live since the pandemic. I was brave enough to take a break during the pandemic. A lot of other people felt like, no, they have to find a way to keep whatever they're doing going. I was like, I'm resting. But coming out of the pandemic is also pretty frightening for people, especially performing artists, because we had to do a whole bunch of stuff online or whatever. But thank you so much for this organization and this collective. I want you guys to tap in with them to see how you can donate and keep things like this alive. Can we clap it up for Rich Oak Alchemy Events? I understand what it's like. So what am I going to do next? Okay, so how many people have fell in love before? I know I did a little sappy piece, but I think I'm going to keep it in there. Oh, that's a weak clap. How many people fell in love before? Was it like the fairy tales? Hell no, huh? Shit, bullshit. Okay. But y'all clap, but it was still good, wasn't it? Was it? Okay. I have my own another love piece actually. Let me see if I've memorized it. So if I need to have my daughter come bring me my phone, don't judge me, judge Colin. All right. I think I want your cup of tea. Yeah, I think I want your cup of tea. I feel like you tried to put a spell on me, and I offer myself. as a living sacrifice up for your ritual. And as the dragon's blood and the cinnamon evaporates in submission to the flame, your Pluto aspects my Neptune, and we create an alternate reality, loving, sensual maze. We follow one another in and out of space, bending to each other's will. In spaces that suddenly become claustrophobic, we call out for one another, our voices running out of echo, but in the same space, barricaded by fiery veils of addiction, of codependency, of mommy issues, of daddy issues, of light and dark skin, of ex lovers, of baby mama, baby daddy drama, of not seeing the value in one's own existence, therefore chasing after external validation, barricades of fabricated ideas of glory, fiery veils of illusions that do not align with your reality, plummeting your ego into a dungeon whenever reality snares its ugly teeth at your ass. And I still want your cup of tea. I still want you. And you still want me. I want your honey in it. I want your honesty in it. I want your pace in it. I want your eye contact in it. Stir the honey in slow. Taste it. Taste it to make sure that it is the right temperature before you serve it to me. Taste it again to show me that it's safe. I hope that this is sweet like the nectar and the tree sapling. Let me be your nature's keeper, baby. Close your ears, children. They know what's up. But only if we could keep our own first. Plant our own gardens, preserve self, unlock our own unconscious, be our own vice, heal our own wounds, come to grips with our duality, and learn how to balance between the two, like the lamb and the lion, like the masculine and the feminine. How beautiful is this orbit that we do around each other, two true keepers of their own nature. This becomes a celestial event worthy of notation in the hieroglyphs. I give gratitude for your cup of tea, baby. It's sweet, it's hot, and when I look inside this cup, I'm forced to see me. I'm forced to see me. That's that love piece. I'm sick of love. I am going to end with this last piece. This has been a pleasure. Thank you so much again to the event, the collective of artists who are here, who make this space beautifully vibratory. Is that a good way of putting it? Y'all are writers, y'all get me. We can make things up. We have that right. We all wrestle, with depression. We talked about depression earlier, just low vibes or whatnot. I want to consider it a low vibe because we can shift out of that. It's hard sometimes, but we do have that authority. And this piece is what came out of me as I had to learn how to take up my authority and my sword and shift out of my low vibrational spaces. And so this is what I be doing. Y'all with it? Okay. We sit upon our treasure. We sit upon our gold. We sit upon our fortunes, but for so long, for whatever reason, we just don't know. Like the moon's favorite forest, I be my own mystery. The rhythm in my conversation, the tides in my closeness with others, my sound, my silence, my action, my stillness, my sex, my celibacy. Sweetness be like the pineapple. Like sweet potato pie, I thank my ancestors for direction, for correction. Sweetness is perspective. The music that dances its way into instrument, the hips that finally choose to flow into trance. Sweetness is this life, the infinite fabric of time, woven in and out of our stories, passed down as gifts and inheritance, often stolen as the sound is muted, leaving generations with barren passions, inciting an uprising, a movement, a deepness, a need to excavate the tombs of muted voices and forgotten stories. Dancing. Dancing expresses my freedom. But for so long, I could not move until I began to call for my spirit come back to me. I began to beat on the drum, to bang on the walls, declare war with the ground beneath my feet, force feed my body with soul's bread, evict emotions squatting in the basement of my heart, thirst, quench my mind's thirst with the water of language, pour libations for the version of me who passed away, burn candles for my psychological transition into new form, chant beaded prayers for the carcass of my childish ways. Inside of the river's temperament, I beg. I beg for the tantrum to still. I so desire to move again. I call for my spirit, come back to me. I beat on the drum. I bang on the walls. I declare war with the ground beneath my feet, make peace with the ocean, and ask her to forgive my neglect. I prepare an altar for proverb, for gospel, for Quran, for scroll, for Rig Veda, for Tipitaka, for Veve, for dialect, for diction, for language, for symbol, for literature, for poetry. Figuratively speaking, I roll blunts of necessary, uncomfortable conversations. Y'all, I shroom into the world of my childhood. I ayahuasca travel to visit my next incarnation. I desire to move again. I command my spirit come back to me. So I dose myself with the strongest elixir known, the artist medicine. I begin to write. I snap for myself. So write, artists, write. Even if you are not a poet, even if you are not a linguist or whatever, write. Talk to yourself, put it on paper, and become your own witness. I love y'all. Peace. My name is Tiffany Banks.
All right, give it up one more time for Tiffany Banks.
Got a nigga, big Birkin bag, hold 5,
Gang,
6
gang,
figures.
gang.
Lights on my ass, so he call his pussy figure. Fucking on a scamming ass, rich ass
We
nigga.
still have one more performer, and I am not ready. This has been such an amazing night. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Oh my gosh. Woo. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna get into the next. Our last feature of the night is Honey Gold Jasmine. Honey Gold Jasmine is a multimedia visual artist and singer-songwriter also from Vallejo, California. Gang, 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 Vallejo squad. Her vision as an artist is to normalize mental health awareness and remind everyone that we are all priceless. Honey studied music and psychology in Oakland, California, earning a dual bachelor's degree in 2017. 2 degrees? I ain't even got one shit. Whew. Okay. She worked within the nonprofit sector as a musical therapist and social entrepreneurship consultant for almost a decade, which developed her into a well-rounded creative. Now she's on her own, where she splits her time between working on her new art, helping creators strategize their next win, and being a mother to her 9-year-old daughter. She has always been interested in imagining futures for humankind, particularly a world where Black women can safely explore and embody all frequencies of being without judgment. I was gonna say some shit about how like the first time I saw them perform was like 2016 when I was working for a hip hop nonprofit, and like how that really like just sparked my mind about like the underground hip hop scene and like really put me into like all the bullshit I hate about like mainstream hip hop is because I don't pay attention to the shit that's going on in my own area. By the way, if you hate mainstream hip hop, actually pay attention to the motherfuckers rapping in your backyard. But this bio was so much better than anything I have to say. So give one more warm round of applause for Honey Gold Jasmine.
And if you say a bitch, say a bad bitch. She bad in the real life, she no catfish. It's not a man song, it's the bad bitch anthem. It's the bad bitch anthem. It's the bad bitch anthem. Ooh, ooh, fuck it up. Ooh, ooh, she fuck it up. Ooh, 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 fuck it up, girl.
Okay, we're back. All right, peace, peace, y'all. What's good? What's good? First and foremost, I'm taken aback. I'm shook. I'm speechless. I'm over here trying to go over the lyrics in my head because y'all just like gave me life. Every single poet that touched this stage gave me life. Please give like some love, like make some noise, please. Oh my gosh. Wow. Goodness, I'm so inspired. So yes, I'm Honey Gold Jasmine, and you're gonna be hearing some songs. All these songs are out. So if you're feeling any of these, please tap in with me on any streaming platform and follow me at Honey Gold Music. And I'm gonna just get right into it. This first song is called Everything That Makes Your Heart Beat. Can you turn me up, DJ? I sing pretty loud. Yeah, 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 yeah. No. Before the platinum records and all the gold chains, I gotta know myself. I gotta know the game. Yeah. I'm so ready, baby. I ride my own way. Both so fluid in the way that I move. I do what I do, 'cause I got nothing to prove. Why? My purpose is so divine. My blessings, they're all mine. I gotta live my truth and free my mind tonight. I gotta stand for something. I gotta stand for something. No one can fall for nothing, no. 'Cause they will do anything to take your energy and everything that makes your heart beat. Said 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 everything. As long as I'm alive, I would never sell my soul in this. Long as I'm alive, I will always be golden. Long after I die, my vibe will never get old. And long after I die, my story will always be told as history unfolds. We gotta question what we're told. What good is being woke if your action never spoke louder than your words do? What's your verb, dude? My word is bond, and I'm humble with my virtues. Ain't got to sneeze in my presence for me to bless you. I'm trying to give you life, but kill you with these lines too. Know you can sense the truth behind these bars, and if you don't stand for nothing, gonna fall right where you are. So why, gotta stand for something. Yeah, I gotta stand. Look, I gotta stand for something. Yeah, no one can fall for nothing at all, 'cause they will do anything to take your energy and everything that makes your heart beat. Yeah, said everything that makes your heart beat. Look, said everything that makes your heart beat. Said everything that makes your heart beat. Said everything. So I gotta stand for something. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, that's out. You can go ahead and stream that. And I'm fully aware that my eyelash is running away from my eye. But if I take it off and put it in my purse, that's the end of it. So yeah, I want to keep these. So I'm just gonna keep pressing that thing back up, just a little bit of sticky that's left. So yes, we just gonna stay in the vibe though. So that was everything that makes your heart beat. This is Higher Power, and yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah. Now that you woke, what do you see? What do you see? What's this life that I see? We all hungry, trying to get wealthy and grow my greens. 'Cause it's all on me, they ain't never gave a damn far as I can see. 'Cause they filled with greed. These hospitals filled up with patients, but patients ain't gave us no grace. So fuck all these corporations, still waiting on my reparations. All these years trying to keep us in the basement. We on the roof, they want us to be complacent. Hell no, I know you see me, I know that you feel me, but do you hear me? But then again, if you're hearing this on TV, I swear you can't believe me. Tell me why they trying to close my third eye. Higher power, say. Tell me why they trying to close my third eye. Higher power, say. Higher power. Tell me why they trying to close my third eye. Why? Say. Tell me why they trying to close my third eye. Why? Higher power, higher power, higher power. It's a whole bunch of people in the bay tripping off that higher power. And they're all on the grind every day trying to get that higher dollar. But I bet they will never be satisfied. Cream get the money is the shit they living by. Dollar, dollar bill, we barely getting by. Tell me whose fault? Entire society's lost. All of the pain, it ain't worth all the cost. All of the tears, all of the loss. Somebody's bitch is somebody else's boss. This isn't right. It's not where we supposed to be. We supposed to be royalty, community. Not living for money, we live for we. W-E and E-D. Our re-education disrupts the peace. So enlighten me, pass me that paper, roll up for me. Tap into the spirit, vibing high with me. Are you right? A spiritual journey, it ain't nothing nice, but you'll be alright. Yo, this is your energy talking out, guide you deep into yourself. Put aside the fear that keeps you down up at night. Now follow all your dreams, all the signs that point you in the way to your light. High, follow your third eye. Got you asking why. Tell me why they trying to close my third eye. Higher power. Higher power, higher power. Tell me why they trying to close my third eye. Why? Why? Tell me why they trying to close my third eye. Why? Tell me why they trying to close my third eye. They trying to take mine, but they can't my soul is. Cause all that I know is that I am. The sky ain't the limit for my place. Nah, cause I know my future, present, past. So they can't stop me, they don't know. They're with me everywhere I go. Hey. I got high power. Thank you. So yeah, those are my heavy songs. I feel like those are two kind of like old songs I wrote like in 2015, 16, 17, 18. That was like a very blurry time. I feel like everything before 2019. You notice I didn't say 2020, right? Because life was blurry before then. So everything up to like 2019 was kind of like blurry for me. It was kind of like struggle. I was in college. I was dealing with like a lot of like tumultuous home life. You feel me? And I think like 2019 was the first time I just kind of started getting my bearings together, and also working in nonprofits for hella long. Like I felt you, Abe, on that whole like social services while you're dealing with your own depression and dealing with your own shit. It's like I guess I didn't realize how much I was giving from a place of like my own reserves, and it wasn't like the access. So I think that was the year for me where it like really switched. And then as horrible as this whole pandemic has been, I feel like I finally kind of got a break in a way, like when 2020 came, to be able to sit back. In fact, I actually quit a job that I had as a music therapist because during quarantine, like June, so it was like 2020, we were like in the thick of it. And I had to quit because they started informing all the parents that we would have to school our kids from home, like in that summertime. So when we were like, I was kind of making a plan, like, I'm not going to be able to work this job and school from home. So I quit, and I just saw their whole attitude change toward me. Like, I was that person. I literally drafted pitches for like stuff the nonprofit could do. Like, I was that type of person. Like, I wasn't just coming to work and being like, whatever, I'm clocking out. Like, I was actually like, this is how we can improve. Woo, woo. So I'm working right next to the ED, like meeting with him, like up there. And I told him I had to quit. And he was like, yeah, I know we gave you a computer and everything, but like, you're going to have to run me $300 for that.
Mind you, I'm telling him exactly why I got to school my kid from home. You feel me? I'm like working off one income to raise her and everything. And so it was kind of crazy to see like how he just switched up. Like, not only do I owe you money, but now you ain't really rocking with me like that. You ain't trying to give me no references if I look for another job eventually or nothing like that. So I think like that was definitely a wake up call to just kind of shed a lot of things that were just draining of me. And so I think those songs were very like beautifully written from a place of like struggle and needing to get that off. But this last song, it's a lot more lighthearted and it's called Smoke Buddy. And it's just like kind of celebrating like that, the loveliness of just just having someone. And even if that smoke buddy is yourself, because I know I smoke a lot by myself and I am my own smoke buddy at this point. I just hope that it hits you like that it kind of lifts you up after everything that we heard during my set. And I know it's a lot of heavy topics and whatnot. So yeah, this is Smoke Buddy. And the video's out now, so stream it. Yeah. Smoke Buddy. Sunshine in your eyes, baby. Keep me sane. Drive me crazy. Roll a paper plane. Eyes gone crazy. You know my favorite strain. Keep on blazing. Hey, hey. Got me open. Tell me what you wanna know. Yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Got you open, steady, going with the flow. Flow. You just flow. You just flow. Oh, you just flow. Put your hands up, rock it side to side. Oh, weed, the vibe is so hot. Let's take this weed and set it on fire. Talking about everything to move right. Ain't coming down until a pig fly. Oh, weed, the vibe is so high. Let's take this weed and set it on fire. Talking about everything to move right. Ain't coming down until a pig fly. Yeah. Moonlight in your mind, baby. Let's get deep. What you're reflecting on lately. Roll another J. Yeah. All of the way. Each other, hey, hey. Got you open, tell me what you wanna know. Wanna know, hey, hey, got you open, steady, going with the flow. Yeah, let me tell you something. Listen, you my SMOKING buddy. They be pressed, we blessed, we stay lucky. No Xanax, no pills, and no bubbly. Just some Mary J. Blige and good company. We might just laugh so hard we fall over. We might try to find four-leaf clovers. Deep in the fields of your mind, you stay open. And you came through with the loud and it's potent. I'm floating in a Fibonacci motion. Every moment, sacred bodies a temple, you know it, we chosen. Might just switch up how we rollin'. Have you ever smoked some cookies wrapped in yellow roses? And do you think that aliens exist and why they hide it? I'ma pass the joint because it went out while I was freestyling. Shit, combos be wildin', but at the end of the night I be smiling, high vibing. Yeah, you just flow, you just flow. Oh, you just flow. Ooh, yeah, get some energy one last time. Ooh, weed, the vibe is so high. Let's take this weed and set it on fire. Talking about everything to move right. Ain't coming down until a pig fly. Ooh, weed, the vibe is so high. Let's take this weed and set it on fire. Talking about everything to move right. Ain't coming down until a pig fly. Yeah, make some noise for yourselves. the beautiful art you heard today on this stage. Shout out to every single one of you. I definitely want to connect. If you was vibing with me, I'm Honey Gold Jasmine. Go watch this music video, Smoke Buddy. I was heavily inspired by Michael Jackson and how he always makes all his videos like have a storyline, have a whole little thing. So Smoke Buddy is like if you had a smoke session with an alien, but you thought it was your partner. And then you don't know why they came to Earth. But if you want to know why they came to Earth, which is actually a very hilarious reason, watch that video, Smoke Buddy. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Poetry Garden, Rich Oak Alchemy, Berkeley Slam, Colin. Thank you.
Come here, man.
All right, give it up one more time. One more thing.
Do it, man.
So my phone was dying and I was not able to get anything. But if you got some type of footage of me, can I please get it airdropped or something? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Give it up one more time for Honey Gold Jasmine. Thank you so much to Honey Gold. Thank you so much to Tiffany Banks and Abe Becker and Kelsey Daniels and Javi Sameo and everybody who was on our open mic list. Thank you so much to Tino in the back and John and Levy and Elle at the door and everybody who makes this show possible. And that also means thank you for showing up here on a Saturday. Like, y'all really could have been doing any motherfucking thing. And y'all came out here to see art and poetry and to support all of these artists. So thank you. But that does mean you have homework. And your homework, 2 assignments. 1, come back next time. We want to see all of your lovely faces again. Number 2, bring a friend. Double the people, double the fun. I don't know you about y'all, but did y'all have fun? I have fun. So let's share that experience with everybody else. Y'all all know some people who would have enjoyed a show just like this, and it would be a disservice to allow them to continue through their life without having this experience because it was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming. We will see y'all next time. And I have a date with a little somebody. If you want to be my smoke buddy. But thank you so much for coming. We have been the Poetry Garden. We will see y'all next time.